Hello, and welcome to Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens, where we explore the behaviors that influence the decisions making process within your organization, that influences how people interact with one another, and more importantly, how it impacts your profit share or your impact into the community where you're wanting to influence externally the world. I am your host, Yvette C. Owens. It's a pleasure to be back with you here. We are here every Thursday. I'm here every Thursday morning at 7:30 to share with you some insights, my experiences, just to pose some questions to help you as leaders and individual contributors within organizations to think about how we think about what we do every day. Good morning to those who you are joining. Please share this. Invite others to join in with the conversation this morning because it's one conversation for everyone today. And today we're talking about influencers, truths, facts, assumptions. Sometimes we think about influencers and we think about people who have been important in our lives and those who really are have been effective in our lives, and um, people we admire, people we're following as influencers in our lives. But can I tell you, there are greater influences in your life, and they involve truth, facts, and assumptions. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know that. I'm going to check and make sure you can hear me and all is well. Yeah, so this morning we are talking about facts, truth, assumptions, and how we really utilize those every day in how we make decisions and how we're going about um, impacting the world around us, but most importantly, how we are influencing and impacting the people that we are working with, right? Because they see us every day in the good, bad, and ugly. And how they see us is really based on how we frame our truth, our facts, and our assumptions. And I'm not here to advocate that we should not have those or utilize those at all. They in its rightful place and time. They are absolutely needed. You need to be able to, when we're talking about balancing and influencing, we absolutely need to balance and put the proper weight in any given situation on truth, facts, and assumptions. Why? So many people who procrastinate are really continue to vacillate between those two and can't get off the dime, and can't move forward because they're putting too much weight in one area or the other. Strong leaders, high performing leaders, those who are leading organizations, those who are individual contributors that are strong and helping your organization move forward, they absolutely can say, this is the time frame in which I need to make a decision, and so I'm going to balance my truth, my facts, and my assumptions so that in the context and the moment that we're in, we can at least make an informed decision and move forward. If you're finding yourself, really going on and circling in your head and getting too much in your headspace about something, it's because you're not taking those things into balance and making a commitment to yourself and those around you who are waiting for your outcome and your decision to move forward. So, again, if you can hear me, let me know. I'm going to check again. Welcome to those who are here. Please share this. Please share, and share alike. Because my whole goal is to be able to help individuals, help organizations become healthier places where they can thrive. Is to be able to. Okay, you can hear me. Great. So I can keep going. All right, so let's start with the beginning. And again, if you're just joining, my name is Yvette C. Owens. I am here on my weekly live called Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. again, where we explore the behaviors that influence organizations and influence those around you, whether they be in your workspace or outside of the workspace, your clients, your customers. We need to be intentional and very conscious about the atmosphere, the environment in which we're creating, where we want others to create, where we want others to work, where we want others to come in and collaborate. We need to make sure it's a healthy place for them to be in. And so we're talking today about influencers, not just those people that you look up to or you follow, but there are internal influencers that have greater determination on how your outcome is going to be every day, every moment of the day. And they are your truth, your facts, the facts, and the assumptions. Truth, that's our belief system. And can I tell you that truth really is that umbrella? Truth includes facts and your truth includes assumptions. The I'm suggesting that today you want to make sure that you're keeping your truth pure. Think on these things that are pure and lovely. Think on these things that are actual factual within context, so that even when you're making assumptions, you're making healthy assumptions. So your truth is your belief system. It's what you really believe based on your experiences, based on the facts, based on what you're wanting to, what assumptions you're making in the moment. And remember, this is a waiting thing. You have to wait, put proper weight on each of those when you're in the moment making a decision. So that's truth. Truth is really your core, your who you are, your belief system, where your comfort zone. The facts are things that absolutely are undeniable that happened in the past, and you can point to them. They're quantifiable. Anyone coming by, anyone looking at that situation can see, and they're there, they're indelible. Those facts are there. We want to make sure, however, with facts, that we're keeping them in context, because talking about 70% of all consumer goods come from indirect sales or indirect channels. If we make a statement that 70% of consumer goods come from indirect channels, that is more than likely true when we talk about consumable goods. But it's probably not true if we apply it to intellectual property, um, and technology, right? So we need to keep it in context. What How did the facts come about? What was all going on? What moment of time? What history of time? And I want to advocate to you that sometimes we have heard about facts, we can point back to facts in history on an individual, and we keep letting those facts come into the present where the context has changed. The context has changed. So you saw and you experienced an individual, and you have the facts around the outcome, how they performed. You have those facts, and yet you know the percentage, you know the performance rate, you know absentee, you have documentation on what they said. However, it is all within the context of that moment in history. Are we now making those facts now a part of today? And yes, you could have had those facts repeatable, undeniably, for an extended period of time. Are we open to receiving new facts, new information about the people around us or about that individual that we have a history or a past with? Are we and I'm not saying some of it, it's been so long, it's like, you know what, that's my truth around that individual. Always be open to someone changing. That doesn't mean you have to step in and do life with them again. It doesn't mean that you have to step in and do business with them again. Because if those facts that weighed out here and they were over extended period of time, you need to see new facts for an extended period of time, then that relationship might not really be one that you want to step into and pursue. However, we should not classify an individual or people or an organization or a community based on facts that happened in the past and now not receiving the new information. And a lot of times we don't want to receive the new facts. It's because we have to start some additional questions. And it's work to prove out and to overcome the past. So if it's work for you, and you really don't have that kind of time, then we have a tendency to lean to, yeah, but history says this, and I'm just going to go with that because that's been proven not only quantifiably but over a period of time. I'm encouraging you that is your truth, but be open to the new facts. And then there are assumptions that are part of our truth, where we can't prove it out. We can't prove it out. We have no proof at all that what we're assuming is going to happen. And how many of us know about those individuals that, have no experience with a person, and because they've heard of something, or they saw someone in a moment, now they're assuming that in this new situation, in this next moment, the person is going to do the same thing, or we're going to behave the same way, or our organization is going to behave the same way. So you can see how truth, facts, and assumptions are so critical to the decisions that we make, so critical to how we interact with someone, how we behave with someone, the expectations that we put on other people all come from our truth, facts, and assumptions. And are we being fair? And the first person you need to be fair to is to yourself. We grow when we allow our truth to be healthy. How does our truth become healthy? By weighing equally the facts that's happened in the past and being open to new information, new facts, as well as challenging our assumptions. Is that really true, Yvette? What you're thinking about, um, Hillary, is Hillary really going to disrupt your team? Is Hillary really going to be just out for herself? Is Hillary really just looking to take your position? Is Hillary really not a good worker? Or are you just assuming that based on biases, based on what you heard, um, sound bites that you heard? No facts. No facts. Or are you open to new information that is factual? We can prove it out. We can show you in black and white. This is exactly what happened. Now, are you open to receiving that? And we've seen that over and over again in playing out in the political arena, playing out in our society. A black young man in a hooded black hoodie walking down the street with earphones. Are you assuming, and because of truth or sound bites that you heard or biases, are you in taking to your truth that he's caused up to no good? Or could he just be so into music? Or could, even more so, he is studying for an exam and he's going over his notes? Or he's going over a strategy and he's reviewing the minutes or the recording of a meeting that his team had, and now as the decision maker he has to now listen to what they said. So he's taking in what his team has shared, and he's reviewing that so he can make a sound decision. How about that? Could all of that been possible, but we want to infuse in different situations assumptions based on past facts or past experience or no experience at all. No experience at all. We just taking sound bites from media. We're taking sound bites from our auntie who had a bad experience or our Uncle Bob who had a bad experience 50 years ago. And so now that's become our truth. Let's challenge our truth. Make sure our truth and the facts and the assumptions are coming from a good intent, sound, pure intent, a healthy place. Challenge yourself every day to become healthier in your thought process, in your decision making, based on and expanding and having a deeper root of your truth that's in a healthier place as opposed to this is what I heard my senior leader say. And so that's what I'm going to apply in this scenario. Is it appropriate? Is it appropriate? So, absolutely, we need to keep all of these in work and in context in the moment because we can make sound decisions if we come from a healthy place of truth, be willing to assume from a positive intent, and take on facts in context and then make the decision because when we're in the moment and especially when you're leaders or decision makers, you have to make a decision then, and you make the best decision that you can make at that time and be willing to change your decision when you get new information. Let me say that again. Be willing to change your decision when you get more information. Sometimes we think, oh, I made the decision, and so we just have to stick with it. And I'm not saying be flighty because that is really disruptive for your teams. When today you say we're going to go down road, Anaheim Road, and tomorrow you say we're going down West Boulevard, or today you say, or this moment you say, hey, we're going to switch and go agile, and tomorrow we're going to go waterfall. That is really disruptive. But when you make a decision and you give that decision some reasonable time to prove it's working or it's not, this is when you become really agile and fluid in your leadership. When we can give it time to say, you know what, this is proven out that this was a good decision, let's keep going. Or the majority of the decision was good, we just need to tweak it. Perfect. Inspect, adapt, investigate, and then make the changes where you need to make. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But then there are times when it is just pure, blatant in your face that the decision that I made was a poor decision. It's going to result in hurt, hurt to your organization, to the individuals, or a loss of income, or a loss of expenditures. You're just going to lose. Stop. Don't go the whole way. It's better to change and adjust and shift than to keep going with a bad idea. That's going to be thrown away anyway if you complete it. Make sure you've gathered those those facts and assumptions that formulate your truth that informs your decision to make the change. I am Yvette C. Owens, and I am here to help you and your organization become healthier, an environment and a culture where people are thriving, where they absolutely want to come and be a part of it. And I know there are people out there, even in your organization, as wonderful as it is, that have questions about, is this the right place for me? And are you in a space, and does your organization have a place where people can actually ask that question, talk about that with leaders around them so that they can get to the right answer for them and for you? We want everybody to be in a space where they can thrive, where our visions are parallel, where they converge and they really work together. So we should have cultures where individuals can grow personally into their purpose, and it's also, and we're growing as an organization because it's aligned. Their vision and their goals, their objectives are aligned with us. Let's create environments where people can do that, and it is possible. And it is absolutely critical in these times. We're seeing the great resignation because people are not satisfied. They're not being served where they are. And can I tell you, I've experienced over the last few months where people coming to me and expressing and sharing how they've actually been traumatized, going to therapy because of their work experiences. What is that? No one's benefiting from that. No one. Not us, and certainly not that individual. And I don't believe any business owner worth their weight in gold and salt actually set out to have an organization to produce a product and services that in a way that would hurt the people that have come alongside them to help them. I don't believe that. There could be some. I'm willing to expand and take in new facts to reformulate my truth. But I want, and I hope, and I want to hope, and I want to focus on those organizations, which I think are the majority, those leaders who really look for and want to do good by the people who are working with them and for those who they want to serve. We've got to get to a place where everybody is feeling this is a place where I belong. This is a place where I'm wanted and needed. This is the place where I'm celebrated. And this is the place where I can contribute and my voice matters. I am here to help you create that environment. You can reach me at www.destinyspeak.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn at Yvette C. Owens. Like and share my pages on Facebook at Destiny Speak, Yvette C. Owens. I'm also on there, Company Culture and the Diplomat Chronicles, because it takes diplomacy. It takes diplomacy. But if you visit my website, www.destinyspeak.com, you'll get all of that information and you'll know just how to reach out to me. And most importantly, we can begin working together to help you as an individual leader and or to help your organization and your team become a place where people are running to be a part of. You'll have people on a wait list saying, as soon as you have an opening, I want to join your team. It's possible. I hear it. And I'm not being boastful, but I hear people, Yvette, I look forward to the time when I can work with you again. And that brings me such joy. Not that I'm perfect, not at all, but I am very conscious of how I leave people feeling. And that, my friends, is what will matter at the end of the day, how you leave people feeling. And as long as they know that you have their back, you're supporting them in that space as they're supporting you, they will go the distance with you. And even if assignments change or circumstances change, they will look for opportunities to come back and be a part of whatever you're building and whatever you're growing. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? Have a healthy, happy, prosperous weekend, and until next week, remember, it takes all of us, every one of us. You can't do it alone, visionary. You can't do it alone, Mr. or Mrs. CEO. You can't do it alone, leader. It takes every person in that organization to create a healthy culture where we can all thrive. But it does start with the leadership. Have a great day. Bye bye.